Hello, my name is Tomasz Pawłowski and I'm a Squish technical consultant at Froglogic. During this video, I would like to present a solution for abstracting test scripts for cross-platform multi-UI testing with Squish GUI Tester. The solution is not limited to mobile or web testing. It can easily be applied to any UI toolkit supported by Squish. Modern applications offer several front ends for their users. You are probably using Facebook on both mobile and web. Maybe you are using WhatsApp on both mobile and as a Windows native applications as I do. At the same time, functionality should be similar for different front ends. New features are often implemented for all front ends, so they need to be tested everywhere. Ideally, we would like to have the same set of tests for different front ends. This is a huge challenge for GUI test automation. Different front ends are implemented differently using different UI toolkits. Squish offers support for Qt, Java, web, mobile, both iOS and Android, native Windows or Mac OS applications. So usually you go to download area at Froglogic website, select Squish edition for given UI toolkit and download it. When testing multiple UI toolkits, the most convenient way is to use Squish bundle packages. Such packages support 2 or more UI toolkits and need to be requested from Froglogic support. Popular bundle packages are Squish that supports both Android and web, or Squish that supports both Qt and web. So, how to design one set of tests that would work on different UI toolkits? To solve this problem, we need to apply high abstraction level test framework. There is a variety of test frameworks we can choose from. We can implement behavior-driven development and testing approach, we can follow page object design pattern, or implement keyword-driven testing. Finally, we can design our own custom framework. I have decided to use BDD, which is supported in Squish natively since Squish 6. So what is BDD? It is a set of methods and techniques to develop the right software. It's emerged from test-driven development. In this method, we describe application behavior in a set of high-level feature files using Gherkin syntax. Feature files are built using scenarios, and each scenario is built from multiple steps. The key is to design scenarios at very high level, so they are valid for all front ends. The trick is to provide different step implementation for each toolkit. The presented solution is implemented for Trello application. In Trello, user can manage Kanban style lists, and Trello can be used in a web browser or on mobile as an Android or iOS application. So let me first present the same test scenario performed using web-based Trello and Trello app running on Android device. Okay, so first we need to log in. And in our example scenario, we'll open a Squish dashboard. We'll add a new card to things to do list. And then we'll open the card and we'll delete a card. And then we'll verify that the card is no longer displayed on things to do list. Let's execute the same scenario using mobile application. I have an Android emulator running. Let's open Trello app, open Squish dashboard, and now we'll add a card, give a talk. And now we'll open the card and we'll delete this card. And now confirm deletion and click back, and now we see that the card is not displayed on the things to do list. When executing the same scenario on web, and Android, you probably noticed minor differences in actions with it. But still, we are able to design a scenario description on a high level that is valid for both UI toolkits. Let's take a look at such scenario. Let's give it a title, delete newly created card, and here are steps. Given Trello is opened, when I open Squish dashboard, and I add card give a talk to things to do list, and I delete give a talk card from things to do list, then give a talk card is not listed at things to do list. In Squish, when you create a new test suite, you need to select a default only one UI toolkit. This cannot be changed later. In our case, we want to run tests for both web and Android frontends. So just pick one of these UI toolkits as default one when creating a new test suite. It does not matter which one at this point. If our test suite is Android type, how to test web application there? And vice versa. If our test suite is a web type, how to run tests for Android application there? A solution is very simple. So Squish provides a global test settings object which offers set wrappers for application method. This function associates a list of wrappers with the specific application. We will call this method before starting Android application or starting a browser for web application. You can see details on the screen. Additionally, we will introduce Squish Toolkit environment variable. It accepts values Android, web, or both. With this variable, we will set if we want our scenario to be run for Android toolkit, for web toolkit, or for both in a sequence. Let's take a look at some Python code in Squish IDE. Here is a feature file, and in a test suite resources, we created two directories. One for step implementations for Android frontend, and one for step implementations for the web frontend. So let's take a look at example step. Given Trello is opened, and let's see how this step is implemented for Android frontend. We see this is the implementation, Trello is opened, and the same step is implemented for the web frontend, completely different. We use different Squish API functions, and we of course use different UI controls. And here is a test py. So let's walk through this file. In the beginning, we check for a Squish toolkit variable. Based on that, we populate toolkits list variable. Then, for each toolkit, we load step definitions from proper directory. Run feature file function will execute given feature file using previously loaded steps and hooks definitions. We use sections, so it is easy to distinguish log messages from different frontends. So what are the key elements for our solution? First, step implementations are different for each frontend. And the second, based on test configuration, so in our case based on Squish Toolkit environment variable, proper definitions are loaded. In object map, Squish stores object names and key object properties used to recognize each UI control. We would like to avoid having objects from different frontends mixed up in a single object map. The idea is to create object map for each toolkit. Names underscore android.py for Android frontend and names underscore web.py for web frontend. Then, in steps definitions file, we will import the proper object map. The solution is implemented, so let's run it to see if it works. So I'll just click the play button next to the test case name. We have not set any variable, Squish Toolkit variable. So first the Android test will be run and then the same test case for the web frontend. So first on the emulator, the Trello app is being started. You see the control bar, you see which step is currently being executed. So now we add a card give a talk to things to do list. We'll click add card. Okay, and now we'll delete our card. and confirm deletion. Okay, the test case is finished, and now the test case on the Trello for web is being started. So the Firefox web browser is started, and we connect to the login page to the Trello. We log in. And the same test is executed here. It's a little bit faster than on the Android, but we see that our test case is finished. In the test summary, we see it took 96 seconds to run both the same test on both front ends. And here we see you have two sections: run test for Android, run test for web, and everywhere we can see pass steps and no errors. And here we see the in the end, in the last step, we see the verification. What if not all scenarios are valid for all front ends? Maybe some functionality is only delivered to an Android front end of our application. In this case, we can use tags and mark such scenarios, for example, using tag named Android only. And then if we run tests for web front end, we can exclude such scenario from execution. And for that, we can use a tags parameter to Squish runner command. And then we provide a tag name with a tilde sign. And then Squish runner will execute all scenarios without the given tag. In the end of this video, I would like to say a few words about an alternative solution. So currently we have different step files loaded for different UI toolkits. An alternative is to have a single step file with having code for multiple toolkits. So let's see in the Squish IDE how it can look. So this is, for example, a single step file. You see in the test suite resource, we just have steps.py. And here, for example, for the step, when I open board, you can see that based on the global toolkit variable, when the test case replays, it either replace the code for Android toolkit or code for the web toolkit. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please contact us at squish@froglogic.com.